First up, Alan Thomas, followed by Lisa Landers.
Not on yet. Okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Alan Thomas, 306 Boyce Street. I'd sent you an email this afternoon or this morning regarding 9th Street. And as you know, I live over in the West End neighborhood. And our kids go to school up 9th Street, West 9th, and then they go over to 9th Street, and then they go to high school. So these are school children that have to walk in the gutters filled with beer cans and garbage because folks have decided that that's where they're going to live. And I said in the email to you folks that to me that's a taking. That's a adverse taking. So your legal department can describe what a taking is to you. But that's when you take something and you don't mitigate it. You don't mitigate it with money or services and things like that. You just take it from somebody, and you're taking our public property away and giving it to someone else for their use. Whatever their use is, it doesn't really matter. The nobleness of the use, you're basically taking it. So do the ends justify the means to those kids that have to walk in the gutter and the garbage to go to high school? You folks are all about high school and school safety and all that kind of stuff, but yet you sit quietly and there's people underneath Highway 101, probably right now, that are camping, and then tomorrow morning those kids are probably doing their schoolwork. Some of them, I see kids down here from the Boy Scouts or whatever group they're with, and they may or may not walk to school, but our kids do walk to school. And so asking, again, like I asked in the email, to put your emergency homeless item that you keep extending for years on the agenda so the public can come and comment. So you can make a decision as to how you're going to deal with this situation. And working with the county and sending, letters back and forth and working with Shirley Zane or Linda Hopkins, it really doesn't matter to those kids that have to work to go to school. They have to basically walk in the street. So again, I'm just asking for your cooperation to look at all sides of this issue. And there isn't a more protected class, in my opinion, than school children. But yet, for whatever reason, we're okay with having them walk in the gutters. It's not acceptable, and you can do better. I know you can. So again, thank you for your time, and please put this on your agenda as soon as possible.
Thank you. Lisa Landers, followed by Valerie Slafke.
Lisa Landers, I got 3 quick things for you. One is it's come to my attention that clerical support would really benefit our city council in efficacy. A lot of them have full-time jobs. This is an afterthought job that has to be crammed into a very, very big format with lots of paperwork. So I don't know if it needs to be an agenda item or what, but I don't want our police without guns and tear gas and all that, and I don't want our city council without clerical support. So if they could share one clerical support person between them and get more work done, that would be beautiful. Okay, my second item. We have put together a community listening session. We have finally got all parties to the table: Santa Rosa Police Department, Sonoma County Animal Control, Sonoma County Board of Supervisors, Susan Gorin. We have Mayor Tom, we have Chris Rogers from City Council. Did I forget anybody? So there's a multi-layered thing that happens with animal control. We have our own legislation here. They're the legislative body. We also have enforcement that comes a little bit from Santa Rosa Police Department, and then we have Sonoma County Animal Control that has to be brought in, and then they are governed by Board of Supervisors. So it's a very complicated thing, hard to get traction on. We got everybody coming to a listening session. It's gonna happen sometime in the first week of February. So if you are a walker, a bicyclist, a runner, someone who likes to go to parks, and you have been annoyed, as almost every person I know has now been, by off-leash dogs, particularly by homeless people. It seems to be more prevalent as that crowd rises, the incidence is going up. Now you're going to have a place to voice your concerns on that. And maybe we won't have to have any more vicious attacks because maybe everybody will come together and find better solutions for it and make headway on it. Okay, my third thing is needles. I've been a creek steward for many, many years. I don't even go just with the big troop. I go on my own, and I do it hours and hours every week of volunteer service. I am finding so many needles on every path, every parkway I go to. I use coffee containers that have been donated by people, and then I label them and I hand them off to Parks and Rec. I got this in my Recology thing, and it's about the sharps containers, but unfortunately when you call the number to get one, they have been out for over a year. So I then called the Eco Desk. They didn't have any way to get them to me. So I called Alistair from the creeks. He's going to supply them. So if you are a trash picker-upper, a needle disposer of person, talk to the Creek Stewardship Program, Alistair, and he will get you one of those containers. Thank you.
Thank you. Craig Murphy.
Hello, thank you, council members. Craig Murphy, Santa Rosa. Wanted to start by reporting out Citizens for Action Now is a group that I'm in. And recently we were successful at clearing a homeless encampment that was behind Montgomery High School. But that wasn't the end of it. There was still work to be done because there was nothing preventing the folks from moving back in or future people moving back in. So we had Caltrans involved through a series of conversations with CHP and Caltrans. They cleared the site of all brush and trees, and then just this morning they installed signs stating no trespassing. And that's a big deal because that gives the police and the CHP authority to go in and arrest people who do camp there in the future. So Citizens for Action Now was instrumental in making that happen, and so that's a good thing. We are making a difference. The topic that I want to talk about briefly tonight, though, is about needles that are in parks, drug paraphernalia. This Sunday, a woman was playing with her child at Howarth Park, and a lot of people might recognize this in this picture here. There's a playground that has some structures that look like a little storefront area. She photographed needles and a torch and a butane canister, so tools for cooking heroin or meth. Somebody left them behind as they were shooting up probably the night before. Literally, they left them on the play structure without the protective caps on the needles. And this lady's child was crawling around on the area, and she saw something over there, and she went over and stopped her child before the child got to the needles. So this brings the question about why are we not enforcing the laws? Why are the, and I know it's homeless because there's homeless campers that are at Howarth Park. There's homeless campers that live up above the Camp Watom sleeping area, and others that periodically camp near the baseball diamond, and then others that live up in Annandale Park. So, and primarily the users of drugs are the homeless population. So it's pretty safe to say it's likely homeless people. Why are we holding them to a different standard than we're holding ourselves? What if that was somebody's child and they got infected with HIV or another disease from a dirty needle? I've emailed Chief Navarro. I asked him to up the patrols of the parks. My own kids have walked by needles, dirty needles, and somebody that was strung out. And I would also finally finish with, if we're not going to enforce the laws, let's put up signs like we have at the Joe Rodota Trail that warn people to stay out. Let's warn people to stay out of Spring Lake Park and Howarth Park and Annandale.